blessings, and abundance. Welcome back to the Zen Effect Show, a talk show supporting you on this journey that we are all on called life. Every single conversation, you all, is designed to empower you. It's designed to inspire you. It's designed to support you in emotional intelligence, healthy perspective on how to look at things, especially with everything that's going on in the world, and to support you in shaping your soul, shifting your world, and returning home to your power so you can live fully in your effect, in your purpose, in your design, and that secret sauce that you were given when you were birthed onto this earth, and to live your life as you will it to be, you all. I am your host, creator, and producer of this show, Zen Howard, and you are able to listen to the Zen Effect Show live every single Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on WBNC Radio, Breaking Chains Radio. And if you want to stay connected with me and with this show beyond the live broadcast, you can do so. Just head over to my website, www.thezeneffectco.com. You can also search the Zen Effect Show, so SHOW, on to follow me on my social media platforms. I have a YouTube channel where there's bonus episodes. You're also able to see the in-studio conversations and watch the videos. They're lit. They're lit. They're really amazing. On the YouTube channel, you're also able to be a part of my Instagram community, TikTok, as well as Facebook. Just be sure to like, to subscribe, to follow, to engage. I'm very active on those platforms, so I engage with you. I truly enjoy it, because when you engage with the show, it really helps the message to reach more hearts and more homes. Okay, you all? So I'm so excited because today's episode is a full episode of Conscious Takes. This is the first episode of Conscious Takes in the year of 2026. You all, there's a lot going on. There's so much happening. My list was so long of things to talk about today, and I did a great job of narrowing it down. So we're just gonna get into it. We're just gonna get into it. I'm just gonna jump right in. You know, we're living in a time where fear seems to travel faster than facts. Have you noticed that? Where a headline can jolt your nervous system very quickly. And on today's episode of Conscious Takes, we're here to pause and not panic. We're here to breathe and to ground, to look deeper and remind ourselves that we gonna be all right. Because consciousness isn't about knowing more. It's about knowing what to believe that is rooted in truth, that is rooted in fact, and what not to let live rent free in your whole holistic vessel. And when I say your whole holistic vessel, I'm speaking to your mind, your body, and your spirit. Ooh, did you feel that? Did you feel that exhale? That's your body saying thank you already for tuning into this episode. So stay tapped in, you all. Stay tapped in. So the conscious take that's threaded and weaved throughout today's episode is the message of learning to discern what we're taking in every day and remembering how to move through the world with awareness And we're also speaking on making love cool again. My question to you is this: what if the most radical thing that you could do this week is slow your consumption? And I'm speaking particularly to slowing your consumption of what you consume the most of. Maybe it's social media, fear, the news. What are you consuming a lot of? What if you just slowed it down? Just slowed it down. I'm not saying to completely stop it, just slow it down. What would that look like? How would that benefit you? How would that support your week this week? The first topic that I have today is this. According to data cited by the CDC, the NIH, and FDA, over 70% of the U.S. food supply, over 70%, you all. Take that in for a moment before I finish what I'm stating here. Over 70% of the U.S. food supply is considered ultra processed. Adults get roughly 53 to 58% of their daily calories from ultra processed foods. And for children, unfortunately, it's even higher. It's actually up to 67%. Yeah. That's not far from what it is for us as adults. And these foods are packaged snacks, which explains why for children it's higher, because packaged snacks, they're more convenient, right? For parents, for schools, for extracurricular activities, recreational activities for the kids. They're easier to also keep track of, right? You can buy in bulk. Everybody has a pack. Everybody gets 1 pack of each, or 2 packs of this, 1 pack of that, what have you. Sodas, also frozen pizzas, sweetened cereals. That's also very common. Children consume. Again, it's easy, right? It creates more ease in your life. You got to run to work, make sure the kid is fed cereal. They're often high in sugar, salt, saturated fat, low in fiber, micronutrients, and phytochemicals. And Stanford Medicine reminds us that this didn't start yesterday, you all. With all that we're hearing out there, it seems like it started yesterday. It seems like this just happened. No, actually, artificial additives have been around since the late 1800s. Yeah, since the late 1800s. So when people say everything is fake now, au contraire, no, it's not just now, y'all. This has been here. We're just awakening to it because there's social media, so much media out there that we're able to get information out to people a lot quicker. That's all that it is. And speaking of that, there's this viral sensation craze that is taking place around wax apples, you all. And I've been seeing on social media where they have an apple and they're taking a sharp object and they're scraping the apple, and there's all this wax. Like, it just looks like it's coated, like you're just seeing clumps and clumps of a wax. Just say it with me. Ew, ew. Am I eating all this wax? And then you start thinking, oh my gosh, it goes into my body, and can I digest wax? And wax can't go into your body. And all these things are coming up, right? That's what it's designed to do. That's why the content is being put out here. It's very important, if you don't realize, for you to realize that when it comes to social media, when it comes to media, when it comes to any of informational things, because there's so much, they want you to tune into them. So therefore, It's necessary for them to capture your attention literally within 3 seconds. And the way to do that is through getting an emotive response from you. Okay? So this is why I'm speaking on this topic, because it's so important. So according to reporting from Green Matters, apple wax is not plastic. It's a naturally occurring wax. Okay? Or a food safe wax. Like beeswax. That's a food safe wax. And those waxes are used to protect the moisture. There's an apple grower named Katie Thornton on her social media page. I believe it was her TikTok. She showed the difference between a freshly picked apple and a clean apple. That when it's freshly been picked, once they clean it, what it looks like. She even showed when you scrape a freshly picked apple, of course, there's dirt, a lot of things that are going to come off, but you start seeing that shiny natural wax of the apple, which protects its moisture, right? Because that's what makes the apple so juicy. It's a part of it. So with that being said, when they clean and wash it, because when we go to the grocery store and we see a freshly picked apple, we want it clean. We want it to look pretty. We don't want to go home. We don't want to pay what we pay for an apple now and have to go home and wash it. We not doing that. Okay. Are you doing it? Because I'm not. So with that being said, it's necessary for them to basically reseal that apple to protect its moisture, because guess what? It's getting transported to someplace else so that we as consumers can purchase it and buy it. So with that being said, the wax, if it's a natural food safe, excuse me, let me take that back. If it's a food safe wax, okay, it's safe and it's edible. It's not the villain. You can remove it. And how you do that is very simple, through basic warm water. If you want a little bit more of removal, baking soda and water, or vinegar with lemon. That's it. These items that we typically have in our house, we all have water. So we either have 1 to 2 to all of these. And this is my take on this topic. There is real food fraud out there. And there is also real fear mongering that is out there. And social media doesn't always tell you the difference. So before you share, before you panic, or before you completely eliminate, did you pause long enough to verify the information? And I actually have a formula to support you with this. I received some help, some support to support me in crafting this formula, because I was like, I really want to come up with a formula for my listeners to really support them with this. And that formula to support you in the information you're taking in is the word discern. And I'm breaking it down. So let's start with the letter D. D stands for distance before decision. Before reacting, before sharing, before internalizing, pause, breathe, and create emotional distance. It's necessary to create that emotional distance because as I said before, they're wanting to get an emotive response. So creating that distance is very necessary. Say to yourself, I don't decide in the moment. I create the distance first before I make the decision. Because information that is received in emotional charge bypasses wisdom. And if you're bypassing wisdom, that's ignorance. And what it does is it goes straight to the nervous system immediately. Think about times where you've scrolled and you've seen something and you're like, or you've heard something in media and you're like, yeah, that's it. That's exactly what's happening. It's causing an emotional charge. that completely bypass the wisdom because you didn't pause with it, and it's going straight to your nervous system. I, identify the source. Ask yourself, who published this? Are they accountable? Do they benefit from fear, outrage, or urgency? Very important. Very important. Okay, that's very, very key, because not all platforms are equal and not all voices are accountable. S, separate fact from framing. Distinguish what is verifiably true. What can you verify? What can you verify? The truth is the truth. There's not your truth, her truth, our truth. The truth is the truth. It's universal. It cannot be argued. So what is verifiably true? What is the interpretation? And what is emotional language designed to provoke? Okay? Does it sound like it's an emotional language designed to provoke me right now? And you can tell that by how your body reacts, to be quite honest, how your nervous system is responding to it. Because remember this, you all, facts inform, framing persuades. Facts inform, framing persuades. C, check the corroboration. Okay? Ask, are multiple credible sources saying the same thing? Pardon my accent on that word, by the way. And is the claim isolated or widely supported? This is huge for national news, because so much national news, so many sources are reporting national news. Is it credible? Is the claim isolated or widely supported? Is it being stated by many? Okay. Are you getting it from a source that leans more this way than the other way? Okay. A red flag is if only one account is screaming it. Right? Only one media source is screaming it. This is also very true for social media too, because I tend to see, for instance, the Apple wax. I was seeing that a lot. There were many sources that were speaking to it. Yes, there is wax, so that is true. But more people are speaking to the fear mongering around it and not speaking to the truth and the fact of what it actually is. And that's why I'm so grateful that the apple growers are doing that, because it's necessary for us to do that. It's necessary for us to speak to things. And that is something I do on this show. That is something you will always receive on this show, because I'm a show that operates in integrity. Number one, truth. I don't like fluff at all. I don't like fluff. I make sure that where I'm receiving information from, where do they receive their information? Because we're talking about some serious things here. If you give inaccurate information, that can be a problem. That can really be an issue. So I take pride in that. The letter E, examine your emotional response. Notice, is there fear coming up for you? Is there shame coming up for you? Urgency coming up for you? And your moral superiority. If your nervous system feels hijacked, that's a flag right there. Pay attention to that. Because emotion doesn't mean false. When emotion comes up for you, it doesn't mean falsity. It doesn't mean that's false, but it does mean to slow down. Anytime, and this also speaks to outside of this topic, when you feel anxious about something, when you feel nervous. Your emotions are messages signaling to you to slow down, be with what you feel right now so you can see what I'm offering you and be present with that. Okay? The letter R, reflect through your values. Ask, does this align with my ethics? Does it promote agency or helplessness? Does it expand or constrict my sense of possibility? Say to yourself this: I don't just ask, is it true? I ask, is it useful for my life? Before passing it on, will this inform or inflame? Does it empower or paralyze? And does it invite thought or demand reaction? Yo, these are very, very beautiful, insightful questions to ask yourself. Let me repeat these again. Will this inform or inflame? Does it empower or paralyze? Does it invite thought or demand reaction? Because the truth is that every share is a form of authorship, you all. It signs off on it. So remember that discernment isn't about mistrust. It's about self-respect. Respecting what you are taking in, respecting what you are choosing to subscribe to. And always remember this: to stay informed without being overwhelmed, to stay conscious without becoming cynical, and stay open without being manipulated. What would change, you all? What would change if you trusted yourself enough to just take a pause before you react to what you are hearing, to what you are seeing? It's these shifts that seem so small and seem so easy, but yet they're not, because they require us to pause, and we live in a world that is saying opposite: not to pause, to go, 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 do, 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 execute, 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 go, 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 do, 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 execute, execute, execute. But it's happening. The reason why this is taking place in society is because it's an invitation for us to pause. To pause. When I come back, we're going to shift from what we consume to what we create. Stay right here. We'll be back after this very, very important message. I want to ask you for a moment of your support, because what we're building here only grows when you are a part of it. If the episodes here on the Zen Effect Show move you, made you pause, reflect, see yourself differently, shifted your perspective, whatever the case may be sure to share it. Be sure to connect with me here as well as through my social media, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Because even if you're listening on the radio right now, you can still support this show online in those ways. Every like, every share, every subscription helps this show travel further than we ever could alone. And if you're feeling called to support this work more deeply, you can donate to the Zen Effect Show or become a sponsor or a brand partner by visiting my website, www.thezeneffect, that's EFFECT, co.com. Your support doesn't just keep the lights on, you all. It helps us create conscious conversations that support individuals in shaping their soul, in shifting their world, and coming home to their power. It allows us to amplify voices that are healing, awakening, transformative, and supports those who listen in reimagining what's possible for themselves, for their communities, and for the collective humanity we all share. It also allows us to elevate brands and businesses and amplify their voices. Businesses that are rooted in conscious living, intentional living, wellness, and purpose-driven impact. This is conscious media, meaning that this is media with meaning, a storytelling soul, and a platform devoted to inner transformation and collective evolution. So whether you like, share, subscribe, donate, become a brand partner, sponsor, or you want us to highlight your event, thank you for being a part of this community. Together, we're not just listening to conversations, we're living them. This is the Zen Effect Show. Again, visit my website, www.thezeneffectco.com, and thank you again for your support. Class is back in session. Zen, what do you mean by that? Well, Netflix has green-lit a sequel to A Different World. That's right, created by Felicia Pride, executive producer Debbie Allen. The story centers on Deborah Wayne, daughter of Dwayne Wayne and Whitley Gilbert. And filming begins in Atlanta, right here in the ATL in 2026. I'm so excited for this, you all. This matters because Georgia's production economy has taken a bit of a hit since 2023. Well, since the pandemic. And since 2023, production permits have dropped nearly 50%. And thousands of creatives have been impacted. I literally just had a conversation with a makeup artist who is in film, television, a part of the union around this, you all. There's so many layers. There's so many layers, and I'm not going to get into a lot of it because there's politics around it, and I don't like speaking about politics on this show. However, this greenlit sequel of A Different World excites me because it isn't just the nostalgia of it, it's the livelihood of it and what this is going to do for what has occurred in the entertainment industry and the production economy in Georgia. You all, it's gonna bring something else in to Atlanta, and I'm so excited, and I want to share it with you. This came out in December from the sources that I source from, this news. So I just want to make sure you're aware of it so that you can support if you were a fan like I am of a different world, and I'm just sending energy its way for much blessings, much abundance, and a whole lot of seasons, just like the original Different World had. And I'm so excited for those that were casted in the original Different World, if those who will also be casted in this, not sure of who they are, but just excited for them as well, because this supports their livelihood, and to be on Netflix is going to be amazing. What a great choice. What a great decision, you all. What does it mean to revive culture responsibly? Not just for screens, but for communities. That's what came alive for me when I discovered this information about the sequel of A Different World. Because we can also do this where we are in our communities, reviving the culture responsibly. And I'm seeing a lot of it, to be honest. I'm seeing a lot of it. We're really leaning into one another and doing things to support one another. And I am here for it. I'm here for it. You know, that's something that the current society, there's a lot going on, but that is something that is being offered here, is that we're getting back to the basics of life. And one of those very foundational basics is community. It's community. So I want to ask you, my question to you is this: what can you do? What are you doing? There are many people who are showing more support to small businesses, which I love. Because the truth of the matter is this: you go to and buy from these large spaces like Amazon. I do it as well. But what about the convenience store down the street? That's a small business. What about the decor store that they don't get people coming in looking for decor and carpets every day? And that's how they put food on the table. That's how they feed their families. That's how they live, especially in an economy where everything, prices are skyrocketing. They go up every year. I went to one of my favorite stores. The prices went up. I'm like, whoo, it's new year, price increase. It's a new year, rent increase. It's a new year, property tax increase on your mortgage. Come on, you all. Come on, you all. There's enough to go around. There's enough money being made where you can divide it up. Where you can divide it up. I'm not saying don't shop at Amazon, because I'm going to continue to shop at Amazon. But I'm also going to support local business. I actually just did, and I'm so grateful. I was having an event, and there was a lady that we crossed paths. And she makes the most delicious cupcakes. You all, I'm actually going to tell you who she is. I'm going to my social media page right now. I had an event, and I'm not going to fabricate this. I was very last minute in getting treats and such for this event. I was very last minute. And don't you love how energy works? It's just these divine moments where what is necessary at that time is brought to you. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what happened. And her name is Gabby, and she's with, she has a business that is called the Sprinkle Boutique ATL. She's a cake artist. She makes cupcakes, baking classes, sprinkles, and honey, her sprinkles are divine. Like honey, go on her Instagram and look at these sprinkles, because they ain't not the sprinkles that you thinking of at all. These are very luxurious looking, delicious sprinkles. Okay, but go ahead and follow her on Instagram. Again, The Sprinkle Boutique ATL. I will have this linked in my bio, on my social media, and my abouts, and in the show notes on YouTube. She's been seen on the Food Network, and she is just absolutely fantastic. She's on time. Okay, she's on time. I literally asked her if she could do this for me in way less than 24 hours. I'm talking, it was probably around 2 p.m. and asked her if she could drop them off by 1:30 the next day, for a quick turnaround. There was, she was going to do a graphic of a logo, but of course, since it was last minute, she wasn't able to. So instead of, just refunding me, she ended up making me 4 dozen of these cupcakes, which ended up being exactly what was necessary. And that's what I call just great business. She communicated with me. She let me know when she was on the way, when she was about to walk in the door. Like, her presentation was fantastic. And the graphic was even necessary because the flair that she put on them was just absolutely exquisite. The packaging, she really puts, I love when you put money into a business and with the finished product, you see where your money is going. She's amazing. Follow her, contact her for all your cake needs. I'm not sure if she delivers or not, but just with who I met, she'll make it happen, and make it happen with excellence. So again, I said to myself this year, when it comes to events, I'm going to local businesses. Large businesses, they get their money. Okay. They get their money. They're great. I think, I don't know if this is accurate now, but a couple years ago, somebody was telling me the Chick-fil-A in one of our top malls here in Atlanta brought in $1 million a day in the mall. Can you imagine what the freestanding ones are bringing in? You see those lines, which I love Chick-fil-A. They have such a great system for getting you in and out. I'm not talking about the politics of it. I'm talking about the systematicness of it, of how they work and get your food, get you in and out. That's the only drive-through line I will sit at, because I know I'm gonna get in, I know I'm gonna get out. Okay, so that's what I'm speaking to with Chick-fil-A. I'm not speaking to the politics of it, because I'm not fully clear on the politics of it. I'm just speaking to the assembly line systematic operation. We gotta give them credit for that. That's something that we cannot take from them. Okay, you all. Now let's also clear something up. We talked about a different world. So last Friday with Ice Cube, the Friday series, franchise, whatever the case may be. Have you seen the talk about it? Okay, those last Friday trailers you've seen, fan-made, AI-generated concepts. We're seeing a lot of it. However, Ice Cube is working with Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema for, I believe this is the 4th, and called Last Friday. The fourth one in this series. I was able to find a source. BET Network on YouTube had it, and they referenced to go to BET.com for more information. So that's who I will be paying attention to in relation to it. So again, another great, popular, exciting entertainment piece that has the possibility of coming back out. But what comes alive for me with this is how powerful AI is. Okay. And it's it can blur the truth. But one thing about AI is, again, I wanted to speak to this because with the AI generated concepts that are out there, people are saying when I see a trailer, right? Because we know when we see a trailer, that gives it credibility, that facts checks it, that puts truth on it and makes it real, that this is really coming, an actual trailer, right? That's something that it's still necessary for humans to do. It's still necessary for humans to do. So this whole fear mongering about AI is taking over, no, it's not. It's actually expanding us more forward. And there have been many things that there has been a lot of fear around that have come to, look, even when cameras came about, look, all these innovative things. I'm going to state this just based off of common sense. I'm sure when Uber came out, right? Think about it. Back in the day, could you imagine yourself calling an Uber, somebody in their car coming to take you somewhere? What? Look at Waymos now. They drive around. There's not even a human being in the car. Like, and Atlanta has them all over. San Francisco first. It was Waymo everywhere. I actually had talked to somebody who works at Uber, and they had, I was asking them questions regarding like Waymo, and Uber and what have you. But to make the long story short, they were everywhere in San Francisco, and now they're everywhere here. And I see Waymos all the time here in Atlanta now. Very, very prominent. So in the age of AI, how do we protect trust? Again, discernment. Verify. You all, research consistently shows, and I'm so excited to share this with you, that men who marry later, often after the age of 35, tend to have lower divorce rates. We know the why. Say them right now. Give me the top 3. What do you think the top 3 are? Say them right now. I'm gonna hold space. Say them right now and be quiet for a second. Maturity, financial stability, and clearer values. And they've gotten all of the play out their system for the most part. They done tasted all the flavors. All the things. Look, they're getting older. They're getting more tired. Okay, let's just be real. They're slowing down some. Okay, some studies suggest divorce risk slightly increases after early 30s. But overall, intentionality matters more than age. And that's very true. That's very true, you all. That's very, very true. But that was a great, I saw that. I was like, oh, so hey, if you single, and if, the dating pool has not been your preference of what's out there, 35 and plus, honey, 35 plus. Okay, so let's reflect on this. Are you choosing partnership for pressure, or are you choosing partnership for presence? I don't know how much pressure is out there for partnership, to be honest, because so much of the newer music is perpetuating I and not we. I actually saw a comment in a social media post that I'm about to talk about and share with you all about we lost the we. We're hearing so much about I and we lost the we. Motivational speaker Anthony C. His handle is The Trillic, I believe is how he says it. TRILLAC. On TikTok and Instagram. He's a motivational speaker, Anthony C. He said something that really made my ear perk up. He said, we gotta make being in love cool again. Staying on the phone all night. Listening to someone breathe. You just call your honey, or they call you, and they don't want nothing. They just want to hear your voice and y'all breathe together. Those handwritten letters, those love letters instead of text messages, them sending you a song about love that makes them think about you. Okay? Because again, there's so much out there. I. There was a comment. He had 1.5 100K comments thus far. Now it may be more, but when I was looking at the video, this was actually sent to me by a listener and they wanted me to speak about it, that we lost the we. It's all I now. Very true, right? Songs out here talking about savagery. They don't need no man. You know, the man talking about how he got all these women and this, that, and the third, and in the streets and all the things. I. Where has I ever gotten any of us? Has it gotten you anywhere? I equals selfishness. It does. And it promotes hyper independence, and it promotes unhealthy morale that you're cultivating, which is exactly the reason why you're not able to draw in what you want to draw in. Because what's so interesting to me about it is that's being perpetuated, but those who listen to it, they want love. Why do you think it's so difficult for you to find it? It's what you're consuming. Discern what you are consuming. Do an exercise this week. Just slow it down. Just slow it down. Just slow it down. Maybe instead of listening to what you're listening to every day, put some jazz in or whatever else you enjoy. How about some instrumental music? How about just some music that don't have lyrics to it? How about that? And your favorite song that may be talking more about I and we, the instrumental version, that don't count. Okay, it just don't count. And really notice what that does inside of you. Take time at the end of the week and midweek to check in with yourself. When you do that, you will notice a huge difference. And we all do it, y'all. So I don't want to hear it's just the young folks, because it's not. It's not. Y'all 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 plus, yes. Are tuned into some of this stuff as well. I have seen it and it has shocked me. And you right there with the kids and the grandkids. Get on down, because you think a joke and you think it's funny. But music is extremely influential. We know this. So what would change if love became a practice again and not a performance? Romantically, as well as, see, there's not a lot of love being perpetuated in the world because it starts with us individually. We got to do it first, and that energy from within exudes out and perpetuates out. There's a lot of talk about get back to the 90s, that R&B music love. Well, start listening to it. Listen to more of it. Honey, a lot of it play right here on WBNC radio. I love hearing it. That's smooth. The trending stuff. That great, that feel good music. Incorporate more of that into your listening. Why not? It's only going to benefit you. Why not? It's only going to support you. It's only going to support you. Watching those shows about love. Doing something just sweet for your person or the person you're interested in. It don't take much. You don't have to throw down hundreds to thousands of dollars. Good day. You don't even got to throw down $5. What you got at the house? What's a gesture you can do? What's a text message you can send? Actually, a handwritten love note. Even better. When he or she walk in, have that note ready. Have it waiting. You remember when notes were sprayed with the perfume Spray with the cologne. Ooh, I love that. That was my thing. The cologne on the pillow. Oh my gosh. Or leave your shirt, babe, and spray it with your cologne. Did any of y'all do that? Leave it with your cologne. Look, even if you've been married for years, your man on the road, your lady on the road, will you just spray this for me? Spray this pillow for. Ooh. Me just thinking about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna implement that myself. Can you just spray your cologne on this? Gosh, what that does for a person. Imagine you being on the receiving end of that. How great would that feel? We talk about spicing things up. Well, that's a way to spice it up right there. Going back to those OG, y'all want to call them old school, but old school has always been the best school, and old school has never faded out and never will fade out. Gosh, those songs now are so rich. They're richer now than they even were then. What are some other ways that we can make love cool again? I love the couples that have podcasts and shows such as Kadeem and Devout Ellis, and there are even more. I love the conversations. I spoke about this that Kurt Franklin is having on, I believe it's called The Den of Kings. You can find that on his YouTube channel, Kurt Franklin's YouTube channel. I love all this that is coming out because the truth is we are making it cool again. But we got to continue as the consumers to perpetuate it more, to get it out there more, instead of these shows where they're fighting each other and they're cussing out each other, calling people out of their names, the music. Because guess what? You're not gonna, what's gonna happen is it's going to cause those individuals to shift their message. That's all it is. I ain't saying we taking money out their pockets, but just giving them a nudge. Hey, shift your message, because this is what we on right now. Because the trend is always with what we as the consumer are consuming and internalizing. That's always been it. So let's get on board. Ooh, Zen, that was great. That D.I.S.C.E.R.N acronym, that was great. I want to receive that. Where can I get it? On my social media. Follow me on my social media. I'm going to post it on the TikTok. I'm going to post it on the Instagram. I'm going to post it on the Facebook. I'm going to create the content for it, and I'm going to post it. So follow me, set your notifications so that you are able to receive it. This episode, the replay will be on my YouTube page, and I will even make a clip, you all, for the YouTube short that speaks to this. So therefore, wherever you listen, you are able to save that. You're able to share it. That's the stuff that's necessary to be shared, because that's what's going to support people. That's what's necessary to be shared. Let's share more of these things. The world is asking for it. It's been asking. Our planet's been asking. Society has been asking. How do we quiet down what's so loud? We answer the call. We pause with what's being offered, and we answer the call, you all. Discernment is self-respect, and consciousness is remembering you get to choose and you get to decide. So my question to you is this. Woo! There was so much insight offered in this Conscious Take episode, and I'm excited about next week's episode. We got another interview happening. Diamond King is back, you all. Diamond King is back, the sound therapist. Woo! With some amazing insight, you all. I'm excited about it. But until then, my question to you is simply this. It's just so simple. You ready for it? What are you going to slow down in your consumption this week? What are you going to shift? And How are you going to be more discerning in the information that you're taking in? Very simple. Just answer it and execute it. Take what resonated with you today with you throughout this week, and carry discernment with you throughout this entire week. You all. If there is something that came alive for you during this episode that you want me to speak to or speak more on, go ahead and visit my website, the Zen Effect Co.com. So www.thezeneffectco.com, or go ahead and DM me, The Zen Effect Show, on social media platforms, or email me, thezeneffectco@gmail. Look, I understand this is an audio. All of this is always in the show notes. I have a universal link where everything is, where you can send that. So look, it takes 2 seconds. Don't hesitate, because I want to hear from you. This is a very engaging show, and I love to engage with you all. I am Zen Howard, and this is the Zen Effect Show. Always remember to keep your soul hydrated and to keep your spirit fortified, and let your effect speak before words do, you all. Until next Tuesday, right here on WBNC Radio, Breaking Chains Radio, 6 p.m. Eastern. Stay elevated. And the replays, if you subscribe, you get those replays pretty quick, okay? Because they upload immediately after the show. Unless there's a technical difficulty that's necessary for me to work through, then it will be uploaded by the end of day Wednesday, okay? The next day. So just subscribe, tune in, so you can stay plugged in to all the things. Blessings and abundance to you. And let me say it again for the people in the back. Stay elevated. You all, I encourage you to become a sponsor of the Zen Effect Show. What being a sponsor looks like is it supports you in amplifying your voice, so more people are aware of what you're doing, your brand. You will have an ad here. You can also have your brand placed here in studio placement, and will move the world forward while giving your business premium exposure. That's right. Across radio, across podcast platforms, across YouTube. It's going to amplify your voice and bring more awareness to what you are doing. You will also receive in-studio placement right here on the Zen Effect Show. Supporting the show will expand your impact at the same time, but it also is going to support this show in amplifying entrepreneurs' voices, artists' voices. So go ahead and reach out. Visit my website, www.thezeneffectco.com. Also, if you're having an event, I want to spotlight your event. The Zen Effect Show plays and is listened to in over 80 plus countries, you all. So I would love to support you in expanding your reach. So again, go ahead and visit my website, thezeneffectco.com.